This is Vegas All Net Radio, the final frontier of free speech.
Views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the hosts and guests and do not necessarily reflect those of Vegas All Net Radio, its affiliates, or its parent company.
She's back and better than ever. It's the all-new Sandy Kastel and Friend Show with Sandy Kastel, singer, songwriter, author, and founder of Weeba. She'll be talking with local and international performers, artists, singers, authors, celebrities, and more. Plus, exciting features like Weema, women and men in music and arts, insights into Las Vegas real estate, and staying fit and fabulous forever. Now, let's bring on the host. Here is Sandy Kastel.
Hello, and welcome to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show. I've got a special guest host today with me. He is Marshall Enzer. Hi, Marshall. How are you?
Good, Sandy. How are you?
Good, good. He's so worried that his voice won't carry, but I told him, I said, he has this big baritone voice, and it definitely carries. He is a boxing trainer, advisor, and cut man for Devin Haney and Zab Judah and others. So, tell us a little bit about Devin Haney. I mean, you just went down to Mexico, and he had his second fight down there. Tell us about him.
Well, he's a young kid, up and coming. Started out, where he would come to the gym with his dad and really want to make an intense impression on himself. He was a kid that was kind of ordinary. I've never seen nothing like it. Like most champions usually are, they go to the extreme when they're young, and they're usually gifted, at an early age. How it happened to be with Devin.
He's what, 16 years old or 17?
He just turned 17.
Just turned, and you just took him pro, right?
Right. He just went pro now. We just took him pro. He had a second pro fight, and it's never been done in a long time. Where a pro turned pro and had 2 fights in 1 week as a professional and had 2 first-round knockouts, which is really spectacular for the kid.
Yeah, I saw the video, and we'll be showing some of that on our. We get John Stiles will pull that up, and we'll show some of those clips. Yeah.
Yeah, and the amazing thing is that the second guy, the first guy, they kind of said, well, maybe you got kind of a guy that maybe is washed up or whatever, but the second guy, he's a real tough guy. We got a lot of calls from a few different promoters, friends at Top Rank Boxing, called us and said, hey, just be careful, man, because this guy can really fight, and Devin had his confidence up and went out there and did what he did. He did the old dab TV and put it on him, and that's how it happened. Thank God nobody got hurt, but that's how it went.
Yeah, so you told me he has mink shorts or mink something. What?
Oh, well,
a mink robe?
He had a little something that made him look like fur was on his last outfit that he came out with.
Oh, it was on his head, or?
On his head, on his shorts, Yeah, it kind of like a prop thing, to grab attention. It was really nice, he came out. We had a lot of support there. Thank God for BH Promotions. He's doing a great job there with his father. His father and Devin are really spectacular working together. And us as a team, I've been with Devin since he's been 8 years old as his cut man and his hand wrapper. He likes certain people to wrap his hands, so I've always done it with him since he's been a little kid. And he's going to be the next Floyd Mayweather, I believe, the next up-and-coming special fighter that nobody's ever seen. If anyone's listening right now, log on to YouTube, man, and type in his name, Devin Haney.
Haney, right?
Correct.
Okay.
And you can watch a lot of his sparring that he did with numerous amounts of different high-end professionals, and you don't see too many amateurs sparring with high-end professionals like Devin does. So he is gifted and he is special, Sandy.
So you're working out of the Mayweather boxing gym?
Yeah, we're at the Mayweather boxing gym, and also BH Promotions also has the Hit Factory Gym, which is worldwide. He has it all over the place going right now.
Okay.
Different venues. His wonderful mother, Renee Haney, she makes things happen, when it comes to moving and boxing and motivating the family of Team Haney to move on and be the next TBE like Floyd Mayweather was.
Whew, that's cool. Well, I'm excited to hear about this, and I know we're going to be having him as a guest on our show sometime soon. And also I'm going to be doing some footage with him so we can catch him as he's up and coming as a young fighter, young boxer. So, Marshall, we've got our first guest on the show, and that is Rebecca Angel. Hi, Rebecca. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Is your dad on with you, too, or just yourself?
It's just me.
Just you. Well, obviously you're doing some work with your dad, some great work. He's a trumpeter and a flugelhornist, and he's had his own, he's a jazz therapist, I guess, smooth jazz therapist.
Yeah, he does play jazz, trumpet, and flugelhorn. He's also, what's that?
Go ahead.
Yeah, he's also a lawyer, but he's been doing all this great recording and performing the past 5 years or so.
Yeah. And so you grew up in a musical family?
Yeah. He has two brothers, both very musical, so I always had that musical influence from my dad's side.
So you automatically had support from the time you were little, growing up and singing, right?
Yeah, definitely. I started singing at a really young age, and they always supported me on that, which I was very lucky for.
So now you've got some original compositions on this this album that you're doing. And you've got a song that you've got coming out at Christmas that's out right now. My favorite time of the year.
Yeah.
But on the album, this album, you also have some original compositions. So are these songs that you've written, or that some other writers have written?
Well, actually, this is just a single release album. My favorite time of the year. But I have done songs in the past on some of my dad's albums throughout the years, and some of those are original compositions, and some of them are covers of standard tunes. So, I'm looking forward to making an album one day of just my own stuff. So that'll be in the future.
So now you've got a performance coming up at the Metropolitan Room, or have you already done that? It says December 23rd. That comes up tomorrow.
Yeah, it's tomorrow.
Oh.
I'm really excited. It's in New York City, and that's the first time I'm performing there. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Well, the Metropolitan Room is a great room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's wonderful. I'm really lucky to get that opportunity so young.
And you're working with your father, of course, and Gottfried Stoger on sax and flute, John Workins piano, Gregory Jones on bass, and Nadav Snir-Zalniker, I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly, on drums.
Yeah.
And that's going to be at 6:15 p.m., and you're going to be performing live at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
Right, so that's wonderful. I wish we could all go out there and see you. Are you going to have it videotaped?
What's that?
Are you going to videotape the performance?
Yeah, actually, the Metropolitan Room, they said they have a bunch of cameras, so they're going to film the whole performance. And so hopefully I can put that on YouTube or online on my website, so everyone can see that afterwards.
Yeah, definitely. You got to send us a copy here so we can post it also, because everybody's going to want to know about your performance there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So tell me, can we hear the song? Is it okay if we play the song now?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, this is My Favorite Time of the Year, and this is recorded by Rebecca Angel.
My favorite time of the year, a time for family and those dear, when sleigh bells ring and children sing their favorite songs. My favorite time of the year, when love roast and you toast those you adore. Time for family and those dear. When sleigh bells ring and children sing holiday songs, fireplaces glow, let everyone know the season of giving makes life worth living. Our very favorite time of the year. Ooh.
What? Now is it all? It's all like. Oh, that was beautiful.
Thank you.
Now, how many? You've been singing with your dad's band for 5 years.
Mhm.
So how old are you, Rebecca?
I just turned 20.
20
months ago. Yeah.
So you started when you were 15 singing professionally, or were you younger?
Well, let's see. I was 13 the first time I really performed in front of an audience, which was at my bat mitzvah, and then I kind of realized that I wanted to do it more, and you know, I just got into taking voice lessons after that, and then my dad formed a band around that time, so it was perfect, and I got to perform in this city probably around 14 or 15 years old. So
that's great.
Yeah.
And so you're going? Are you going to Ithaca College now?
Yeah, I just finished my first semester of my junior year. So yeah.
And
it was
let's see.
amazing.
Let me
Yeah,
guess. Are you going to school for a major in music?
Yeah, I'm a jazz studies vocalist. So
are you gonna take any business courses too along with that?
Yeah, I have taken a few part of liberal arts classes, but I've had, you know, music business sort of internships, which I've learned a lot about the music industry. So that's been kind of in place of a minor.
Well, that's good because, you know, this is a business, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes as artists, we get all caught up in, you know, performing. But there's all that other business stuff that gets in the way and can get in the way if we're not comfortable with it. So tell us a little bit about your experience then, the whole process of, you know, working with a band. And I know it's your dad's band, so it's a little different. But tell us what are the ins and outs of working, first of all, with your dad and working in a band in New York City.
Yeah, so it's really awesome to be able to work with my dad, and we get along really well. So it's never like drama between us. So yeah, I think I'm really lucky that, you know, I get to perform with him, and everyone in his band. I mean, they're all so mature and professional, and so it's just I learned so much working with them. People who've had so much more experience, you know, in the music world, and so working with his band is really amazing. I also have a band at college that I work with, and it's cool to be able to, you know, grow and see what it's like working with all different sorts of musicians and different ages, and it's really it's a really great learning experience. So
now the band that you're working with at college, is that they're all college students there?
Yeah, they're all
Yeah.
about my age, so it's a little different, but we do different sort of music and try out different things. So yeah, it's different.
So you recorded an album, though. It says a song in harmony that was an original that you co-wrote with Dennis, with your dad.
Yeah, that was the song I did, I think, back in 2012.
Uh-huh.
And we wrote that together, and that was produced by Jason Miles, who also produced this last record, My Favorite Time of the Year. So it was great working with him, and it was a fun project. So.
And how'd you like working in the studio?
Yeah, it was great. Jason's wonderful, and he's helped me a lot as a musician, and just, getting comfortable being in the studio, because, it was something new back then for me. So, yeah, it was cool.
Okay. So if you were going to give anybody tips that was just getting into the business, what would you tell them?
I would say only do it if you really, really are passionate about it, because it's not easy. And if you're not really interested, then it's not for you, because it's not an easy path. So.
No, it's not an easy path, is
Yeah.
it? No. But it's great to be able to do it, and when you do it, it feels wonderful, doesn't it?
Yeah, very rewarding.
Yeah. So who's your favorite singer?
That's a good question. Probably Billie Holiday is my all-time favorite singer.
And who do you think you sound like or have an influence by for this album, this song that you just did on this album, or your single?
I don't know if there'd be one single person, but just, I guess, listening to all the different holiday songs and that uplifting kind of mood, I guess. So a mix between some pop artists and, I guess, jazz artists, because I know a lot of jazz artists do holiday albums as well. So
But this
kind
has
of a little bit from everyone.
This is a little bit more like a pop version.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little crossover.
Right. So what are your goals for 2016?
I definitely want to keep pushing and growing as a musician, and trying to learn as much as I can while I'm still at school, because I have some wonderful teachers. So I'm hoping just to, keep on a good track of my singing career and keep plugging away.
Great. Well, okay, so where can people find your music?
So I have a website now. It's called RebeccaAngel.net.
Okay.
And on there I'll have all of my songs I've recorded, plus some videos on YouTube. We have the links there, so that's a good place to start. But I also have this single on iTunes, and it's on YouTube. We have a music video, so yeah, it's all over. If you type Rebecca Angel, My Favorite Time of the Year, it should pop up.
Well, great. Thank you so much for being on the show, and have a wonderful holiday. And then let's touch base in January. Let's see, and be sure to send us a copy of that video, some your clips from your video of tomorrow's performance. Have a wonderful performance tomorrow night at the Metropolitan Room, and I look forward to hearing from you next year.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
All right. Well, have a great day. Thank you.
You too.
Happy holidays. So, Marshall, you're not very familiar with some of these young artists and stuff, right? No, it's a whole
I'm
new
not.
world for you, right?
Yes, it is.
But it's similar to like a young boxer, when they first start out in the ring, they got some things to learn, right? So what's one of the main things that, with boxers that you look for when you're training and when you're looking for new talent?
But pretty much, it's a stamina thing. It's kind of like kids will do it on a fun level, kind of like karate, and then you'll also get the upper echelon of the kids that really put in that extra mile. And when it comes to converting or transforming, I should say, from an amateur into a pro level, you can really see the difference when they're amateurs, if they have a chance to maybe one day have championship quality potential inside of them. I don't know. After I've been doing it about 30 years, I've been in boxing, and working off the pivot, seeing kids, if they don't have natural balance, it's really hard to teach balance when it comes to boxing. All of the trainers out there in the trainers world know what I'm talking about. It's something that you have to be gifted with when you're born. Not saying that you can't be taught how to have balance, but balance is a natural thing, and the most important thing in boxing is to have balance and be able to learn how to box off the pivot. And I learned that from old trainers like Yoel Judah. Zab Judah's father took me under his wing maybe 8-9 years ago and really taught me how to zero in my eye on the amateur level of picking out pros, and how scouts really have an eye for young talent coming up, but the bottom line is, win or lose, as long as both athletes come out okay and they don't get hurt, I'm in it, for that reason and that reason only, and it's not the money thing, now being on a professional level, I get a lot of offers, to go out and do different fights in different countries and all over the world, and I turn them down. I want to stay here locally with the young kids I work with, and most importantly, the Devin Haney, the new up and coming spectacular kid we have right now. I got to concentrate and be here for him if he needs me. So. That's how boxing kind of works. You stick with them when they're younger, and hopefully they cherish into something spectacular. And with Devin, it's truly been that. It's going that path right now. He's a kid none of the boxing people have seen lately. Around the whole boxing scene, and for being so young and him being able to handle himself, fighting professionals at elite championship levels and dominating them, being so young is something very special, and all the great champions, Trinidad, Oscar De La Hoya, Fernando Vargas, Joel Casamayor, Rigondeaux, I can keep naming them, Gamboa, all of them, and especially like Zab Judah, he's got one of the best left hooks in the business, and Devin learned from him, growing up, sat there on the ring while we were training Zab for all the big fights. I happened to be Zab Judah's cut man, and, I wrap his hands, and he would sit there, Devin, and watch and just say, Marshall, one day I want to be like Zab. And I just said, just keep up the good work, Devin, and the good eating right and everything you have to do to be a great champion. And he's really set an example for something really special. So that's pretty much how it is with him. I'm grateful to be in boxing. I'm grateful to work with the young kids out there. And if it wasn't for the young kids, I probably wouldn't be in it right now. That's pretty much it.
So if you were going to say one of the toughest things in boxing, what would that be?
One of the toughest things is the devotion of wanting to train. Perfect training means everything. You have to wake up early. There's so many kids that are devoted to any kind of sport or any kind of ambition that you want to do, like including the young lady we were just talking to on the phone. She had dreams and she had ambitions, and she said the most important thing is never give up on your dreams, and I believe that 100% thoroughly. You want to be the best DJ or the best anything, stick with it and never give up, man, and one day you'll be on that 98 point whatever your hottest station is, if you keep moving forward. And
So as Devin is preparing, like he knocked out his opponents in the first round on both of these fights, and you said there was so now that's a great thing. So now he's 2-0, right?
Right.
And so now you're trying to build him up and get enough fights under his belt so that you can take him to the next level, or how does that work?
Yeah, take him to the next level. When you turn when you turn professional, I believe it's your so many fights until the commissions will let you fight. Like you have to start out at 4-round fights, and then after the 4-round fights, they'll let you do 6-round fights. And then from 6 it goes to 8, and then to 10, and then to championship caliber. And he has to build himself up. And the thing is that he was a little bit too young to turn professional here in the United States. So we had to get some real good opposition, because nobody wants to fight him anywhere. And we happened to find some real good guys in Mexico that wanted to fight him and put up a challenge against us. So we went out there and turned him pro a little bit early. He was 17 and a couple months or something like that. And, he'll make his rest of his debuts and his career up to championship world-class titles pretty soon.
Right. And obviously it's important for him to have his family behind him. And as you said, his dad also worked with him?
Yes, his dad works with him, the whole way.
Well, that's like Mayweather too, right? His dad is a trainer also, right?
Correct, yeah.
Train him?
His dad is very diverse, Bill Haney Sr. is very diverse. He's also involved with his son, Bill Haney Jr., he's going to school right now to be a lawyer, and things are going very good for him. I'm very proud of him. Their little son Sean, and their new baby daughter that they have, thank God for their family. And he has a great mom, Bill Jr., Renee. She's been the force of Team Haney since the beginning. And it's nice to see a family like that and be able to work closely with them, right, of building a young superstar, from a little tiny kid looking up to a ring to becoming a world-class contender, hopefully one day, and dominating the whole sport of boxing, which I believe, in my opinion, he will. Devin is truly spectacular.
And what's Devin's website where we can find out more about him?
You got to see him at Real Devin Haney TV.
Real
Devin Haney TV, and
okay.
That's Dab TV. I can do the old Dab thing. And we're here to take whatever we have to take. It's Devin against everybody. We're doing it by ourselves as a team, and not using any big mainstream promoters, to bring ourselves up.
Right.
Devin is himself, and he is going to be his own promotions. With Devin Haney Promotions right now, it's going to take off to a new level of boxing. And we all wish Al Heyman, we wish Don King, everybody, Golden Boy, everybody, everyone at Top Rank Boxing the best of luck. We love them.
Good.
We love everybody. This is America, and we're here for everybody to grow from. And
great.
Boxing is growing, and so is Team Haney.
Good. Well, we're going to hear more from Team Haney soon, and we're going to have him on the show again. Now we've got our next guest, which is Minna Barbado. Is that pronounced right, Minna?
It's Minna. Thank you, Sandy.
Minna,
How
yeah.
are you?
Just
Minna. To be
Minna.
on your show.
You just go by just Minna, right?
Just Minna, yeah.
Okay.
Minna.
Well, welcome to the show. Yeah, it's good to have you here. Yeah. So you also you worked with Joe Volpus on this project, I understand.
Yes, yeah. Joe's my producer for all my projects. He's awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about this project, your new single for the holiday.
Thank you. So our new single for the holiday is a Christmas song, and it's my single where I'm collaborating, and the other featured artist is Frankie D, which also known as Frank Barbado. And we put this song together. My fans were asking for a Christmas single, and here we go. We have a great one out for you.
Great. So how did you pick the song?
It was a collaboration and just mutual between Frank and I as far as what would be a great song, and it's a song he's always loved. It's a great song, so we picked it and went in the studio, and I wanted it to change it up and add the sax and just make it more of my style, more of a Minna style. And Joe is instrumental, with the entire collaboration as well with Joe Volpus.
Right. Right. And then, so how did you get to this point? Obviously, you've done some other projects.
Yes. So I currently have my Billboard single, Bring It On In, where I feature Ronnie Chase, another artist. And Joe and I, prior to that, and we've been working for a couple years and just, putting down my songs. And we put them out this year and went to radio, and grateful for radio. Radio's been great to me and our songs, and very grateful to be on your show as well, Sandy.
So tell us a little bit about, share a little bit with our audience about your songwriting process. How do you go about writing a song?
There's no rhyme or reason, no pun intended, but
No.
a lot of it just comes from just how I'm feeling, and just, sometimes songs come to me whether I'm sleeping or if I'm going through whatever situation I'm going through in life. A lot of times I'll start off as a chant, and I'll just, say the chant, which becomes the hook of the song. Write it down, do a lot of voice recordings as well when I get the lyrics that come to me, and then I went in the studio with Joe, and that's a great part because we sit down and he takes my songs and then brings out the best in me as far as of creating the song in the format that you hear it.
Mm-hmm. But it's so funny because some people say, oh, well, get a day job or have a backup. Well, you are not just a singer-songwriter. I mean, you're talented and you're accomplished as an artist and a singer and songwriter, but you're also a pharmaceutical. What is your actual term here? Your terminology here? Is it You've created this G-Skin, and you've partnered with Brighter Horizon Labs to develop nutraceuticals that promote and enhance animal health and wellness.
Yeah, and which is exciting because it's not just a vitamin, and it actually boosts the immune system. So it's great for animals, great for dogs. I'm big with dog rescues. I have 7 of my own that I rescued, and it's just great because, especially with animals, a lot of unfortunately they get put down for any reason. A lot of it has to do with their immune system. They're usually emaciated. It's beyond devastating how they get treated and how they even end up where they are. So these vitamins actually help with the healing process, boost their immune system, help minimize the kennel costs. It's great for the animals. I'm really big on animals, as you can see. So, and helping them.
You also, it says you work with a lot of nonprofits too. Forever Home Sanctuary. Yes,
and that's something that we're putting together, and it's going to be on, it's going to be online soon for funding. It's a great way to give a forever home to both animals and to kids that are now young adults that don't have a place to go, and especially and I'm sure in Vegas as well. It may be similar, but especially down in Florida, there's an epidemic with children leaving the foster care system at 18 without an education or without anywhere to go after the system. So it's just a way to pour resources into to make a better way of living for everyone, and also to provide education and resources so that we give back to and promote our youth to be great adults and lead us in the future.
But you say that they're leaving foster care without an education. I don't understand that.
Well, as far as a higher education, as far as having resources, having a place to go, as far, that's it. You're out basically on the streets. If you don't have a job, then who's going to pay for college? Yeah, I mean, with as far as an education, moving forward, higher education is so needed in today's society, especially to enhance everyone's skills, whether it's technical education or whether it's in the form of going to university. You need that type. You need training just to help facilitate and just and in your career. So I'm big about education and promoting well-being and just making everyone better.
So now with your music, obviously you have an opportunity to do events and things like that to help or be part of, bring together collaboratives, to raise awareness, right?
Awesome,
She's laughs.
Awesome, and that's why it's for Bring It On In. That's, the basis of the song is just empowerment and to bring it on in, and that's what's great about doing our music and doing the music is to be able to have that platform to first and foremost to make songs that have a meaning are empowering and that resonate, and just have the listener have it mean something to them, and then also to use that as a platform for that, as you're saying, just to kind of give my contribution back to society.
Well, that's wonderful. Let's listen to your song. This is the Christmas song by Mena.
It's Christmas time.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
Jack Frost nipping at your nose.
Yuletide carols being sung by a choir.
And folks dressed up like Eskimos.
Everybody knows a turkey and some mistletoe help to make the season bright.
Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow
We'll find it hard to sleep tonight. They know that Santa's on his way. He's loaded lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh. And every mother's child is gonna spy to see if reindeer really know how to fly. And so I'm offering this simple phrase
to kids from 1 to 92.
Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Hey, 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 Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas and happy holidays.
That's a nice song, nice version of that.
Thank you.
So Frank
and Sandy, if I could add, we were talking about giving back and with and as far as nonprofits and charities, and the one thing to mention is Frank Barbato and I both decided and collaborated, and it's all over our social media feeds, is that downloads for this song, proceeds will go to charity. So you could download it either on my website, menamovement.com, or on his website, which is frankbarbatolive.com. And we're excited to be sharing our proceeds with charity for the holidays.
That is wonderful. And I don't know if you know, but I've got a special guest host here, and I think he wants to ask you some questions. He's got a question.
Great. Awesome.
This is Marshall Enzer, and he is a boxing boxing trainer, and is working with a young new boxer that is making some headway. He's Devin Haney, and he's got a couple of fights under his belt that he already knocked out his opponent in the first 2 rounds. And we were relating, boxing to performing and singers. And go ahead, Marshall.
How are you doing?
Good. How are you doing? Pleasure to meet you, Marshall.
Pleasure to meet you too. So how old were you when you started your career?
Was it count when I first started writing lyrics when I was like a teeny weeny? Does that count?
That's what I meant.
Teeny weeny.
Yeah.
Because I was kind
Way
of
back. Yeah. Somewhere in the 1 digits.
I was kind of telling Sandy too that the ones that become successful, in anything they do, they're the ones that when they don't give up. It doesn't matter what day it is. It could be your birthday. You're singing around the kitchen, with your mom and stuff like that. And
Yeah, it sounds, and it's if you haven't heard my song "Bring It On In," Marshall, you'll love it, because in it is about just bring it on in. And also there's a version in there that says that, I wouldn't box me. So there's a reference right to your professional arena right there. So you definitely want to check that out.
A little challenge there, huh? I wouldn't box me.
Yeah. Yeah. But, so, yeah, agreed. Because you got to be tough, and you got to just make it through. Yeah.
So what kind of advice would you give to somebody just starting out if they wanted to, get into this business, Minna?
Just focus on your passion, and it's kind of twofold. Where when you're focusing on your passion, and also to be the better version of you in the process, you're going to help others as well. And throughout my journey, I've had people help empower me and just support me, all kinds of support as far as just having that spiritual, that mental support, which is equally important, I'm sure, Marshall, with Devin Haney, and just focus on being the best version of you, so that you could leave an imprint and do something better for others as well. And just remember it's your passion, and you got to do. And you gotta get through all the little tests or obstacles you get in life, and to get to where you want to be with your passion. But just stick it out; it's worth it.
You mentioned something there, and the other thing is as you've been mentored, there's I'm sure you've been mentoring others, and Devin, and it's all about setting a good example. We were talking about how it's important that Devin lives a good lifestyle and eats right and sets an example for those around him too.
Exactly,
just like yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah. We found your song here, and we'd like to play that. Bring It On In.
Yay!
If you don't
awesome.
mind. Okay, here we go. Bring It On In, and this is Minna.
Yeah. Bring it on in, 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 starting with me. If we can't handle that, how we gonna deal with the good? I'm the beginning and your end, created the perfect tense. Didn't love me then, ain't gonna be now. Didn't love me, cause of them, I didn't know how. Taking me from me, while taught we believe. Suffocating religion only disturbs the peace. With every step forward, I'm taking it back. My way or no way.
Introducing the microphone abuser, hip-hop protector, a batter and bruiser. You're something of the past, man, and I am the future. You ever go to class, man? Well, I'm about to school ya, so don't let me lose ya. All I am like bats on a pop-up with the mouth. I don't need a damn handgun. All I need is a beat in the background, the bass straight thumping, and a chick to the lag to wild. I said a chick to the lag to wild, the bass straight thumping, and a chick to the lag wild. I crack a smile and I'm slightly amused at the amount of criticism that I've been abused with. You crack your mind and you're slightly confused at the amount of syllables that I just fit in one tune, kid. Sorry, Charlie, the rover to move over. I just tore the track down and the song isn't even over.
Bring it on in, 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 bring it on in.
Back again, it's the Mad Hatter of the microphone, Ronnie. Chasers in the building, got no ceilings to stop me. I'm your neighborhood's version of Rocky. Knock out the competition, man, I wouldn't box me. A box beats and a beatbox in back alleys, and lost sleep in a heat box in South Cali. Short order chef, cook the microphone, turn the volume up, flip the nitrous on. Here's a lesson, come and sit beside us. I got rhymes so dirty, I spit gingivitis. This record's gon' call me Mr. Midas. People dance so hard, they get hit beside us. I'm only speaking the truth. I'll let you look into my mind and then my mind don't poof. Wait, see, I've been meaning to win, and we put Lena on the chorus. She bringing it on in.
Bring it on in, 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 bring it on in,
And we put Lena on the chorus. She bringing it on in.
Get your voice, man, I'm made. Daddy taught me be the best and succeed. Mama, see a lot, you're not like everyone else. Your honor, facilitate karma, be the dream, be the dream, be the dream, dream, be the dream. I got the vibe, God is my witness, didn't make the mess.
on in. Woo! I love that. Marshall said, yeah, they could be using that in the training.
Absolutely.
That was very nice.
Empowerment, right?
Yeah, that was good. Really empowering.
Where do you live, Minna?
I'm in Florida.
In Florida. Where at in Florida?
In Fort Lauderdale, just outside Fort Lauderdale, a little tiny suburb, but right there in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Cool. Well, great.
Yeah.
Well, it's so great to have you on the show. I'm so excited. I hope you have a wonderful holiday. And then, let's hook up again after the beginning of the year. Let's follow up on what you're doing and keep it in mind because, WIMA, my organization, is Women in Music and Arts. It's WIMAfoundation.org.
That's awesome. Yeah, on social media. Yeah. That's awesome.
And we believe in empowering artists of all ages through education, mentoring, and scholarships. So, yay.
Wonderful. Yes.
We're on the same.
Thank you, Sandy, for having me. Thank you. I'm very grateful to be on your show.
Thank you, and have a wonderful holiday. Talk to you next year.
Thank you, you too.
Okay.
All right, talk to you next year. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Well, that was wonderful. That was Minna, and of course she was singing her Christmas song with Frank Barbato, and then the other song, Bring It On In, was with Chase. And then we've got Marshall Enzer here, boxing trainer and cutman for Zab Judah, and new upcoming artist that is quickly gaining ground, Devin Haney. So keep an eye out for this young new boxer, and we'll be checking in with you next week, Tuesday night here on Vegas All Net Radio. Check us out on YouTube and on Facebook and Twitter. Talk to you soon. Bye.
I've been an angel all year, Santa baby, so hurry down the chimney tonight.